But it's a combat sport. Basketball's not life and death. So you're not coming in one-on-one and then all of a sudden, oh no, my skyhook might not work because I have my inner critic coming in now. No, and then someone just clocks you, knocks you out.
Michael would have won them. I'm sorry.
You reckon? That's what I'm saying. It's down for debate.
Yeah. Now it's just subjective because it never happened.
I just want to say to everyone now, and another thing, yourself in a pit.
Wait.
Because from before you were
What's happening, everyone? Welcome to a Fair Dinkum podcast. We have a special one for you guys today. We have a debate. One of our listeners commented on one of our videos, Zamrin NAWAZ. Shout out to you. He gave us a hectic topic. It's the top 5 greatest Muslim athletes of all time. So we did some research. We make some ground rules. There's a bit of a twist to it. We're talking about only performance. So who's the greatest at their sport, not what they did outside of the ring, the court, the field, whatever it is. So let's get into it. There's some honourable mentions. You guys will hear at the end because we're only going through the top 5. So let's go.
Only the important ones.
Number 5 we had on is Shaquille O'Neal.
That's a good number.
He was on 3 of our lists. Legendaries, our list, and my list. And he was number 4 on all of our lists. And there's going to be some people that you guys hear that you might say, are they Muslim, are they not? We did our research and we thought, Bismillah, they say they're Muslim, so we have to allow it.
You can't question
Yeah, you
someone's
can't
Islam.
question, So, Shaq. What's funny?
I didn't have
Diesel,
him on my list.
bro. That's Diesel.
I didn't have him on my
And
list.
Najeem didn't have him.
You know why I didn't have him on my list?
Why?
I didn't have him.
Yeah.
See,
He's honourable mention.
He's
He was
honourable
on the
mention,
edge, yeah. I
100%.
thought hard.
but the reason I didn't have him on my list is because you can argue that Kobe had a big influence in his championship win.
Yes, I said that.
And then also
Dwayne
Dwayne
Wade.
Wade. So for me, look, obviously he was a big influence in the team. Don't get me wrong. But then there's also that element that, okay, there was somebody else dragging me over the line in this. But I want to hear why you guys have him.
Because the only thing is like that argument, it's the same as saying Michael wouldn't have won 6 without Scotty.
No, bro, that's a completely different.
No,
Do you know
no.
how much Kobe averaged those finals? Under 20 points.
Okay, but it doesn't
He
matter.
averaged 36 and 15.
No, but
That's domination, bro.
Okay, it doesn't. No, but what I'm saying is, for example, Kobe Bryant, he's considered as one of the greatest ever.
But that was his 3rd year in the league, remember that?
It doesn't matter,
He's
though.
20.
Like, I'm saying what he was able to contribute was a lot, even if it didn't fill up the stat sheet. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, the other opponents would have known his abilities.
The 01 Lakers were like the 2nd best team of all time, 15-1. They lost 1 game and then they won the finals. Shaq was absolute domination. Shaq was the first person in 2000 to be. He was about to be unanimous MVP. 1 vote. He was supposed to be the first unanimous MVP in history. 1 vote didn't make it. Yeah, he was domination. He's the most dominant player in NBA history.
No. I don't know. I disagree. I
He's
disagree. I've got someone else on my list that I think is much more dominant. I think it's not even close.
What, does he have 4 titles?
I think it's just media. I think it's just media perception that made Shaq seem as dominant as he is. 100%. I reckon on my list, I reckon 2 people in the NBA that were more dominant than he was.
In that position,
but you have to understand.
In the same position as well.
Okay, Ali, why did you have Shaq on your list?
Bro, first of all, he had 4 championships. He was dominant by far. I can't say he's number 1.
Yeah.
But he's by far like dominant top 3 in the league. So he has to be like one of the top 5 Muslims of all time for sure.
Did he win Finals MVP for all 4?
No, Dwayne won it the last one. But if you think, bro,
did he win 3?
With Kobe, he won all 3. He won 3-peat. I told you last time, Michael Jordan's the only person to win a 3-peat, like the Bulls. Yeah. Besides Bill Russell in the 60s. Then he did it, Shaq. He 3-peat, lost the next year, so he made 4 in a row, left Miami. Next year, he made the finals.
Look, I'll be honest with you.
But no one does that.
For me, a lot of the decisions that I made with my list, the reason why is because there's that question mark there.
Yeah. He's number 5 there.
Agree.
He's number 5. You have to remember that.
No, but I still didn't put him as number 5 because...
You didn't put him at all.
Yeah, no.
You and how didn't put him at all.
Yeah, because if I did, what would have happened is it would have almost been just a basketball list.
Exactly.
It's a top 5 of all athletes.
Yeah.
Is he as dominant as Khabib is? That's the question. You know what I mean?
Let's be honest.
And I think he's very dominant, but he's not that dominant. Khabib apparently has only lost 1 round. You know what I mean? Arguably.
So the 5th.
So come on, bro. Like Shaq has lost a lot of quarters, a lot of games, bro.
Now that's a different sport. That's different.
The 5th spot in their list, are they still part of the top 5 or no?
One of them isn't. Okay. But we'll talk about that later.
How you gonna have a guy that can't shoot free throws in your top 5?
Come on, man. Come on, a clear flaw, not just the flaw. They literally made a rule.
Yeah, hack a Shaq.
They made a rule because of how like obvious the flaw was.
Wait, what was the rule?
Teams would literally just hack him at the end of games when it was close.
Oh, it was a
so then
target.
he'll shoot free throws and he'll miss them, and the other team has a chance of winning.
But regardless of that,
bad.
the domination he had in a 2-point era in the 90s and stuff, this guy's averaging 36 points.
It's amazing.
He's running amok.
No, we're not saying
Playoffs.
we're not saying he's not good. It's just this list. The people in this list are ridiculous, bro.
Exactly.
Ridiculous.
Nah,
Like,
I don't think you understand.
No.
Shaq's the,
Okay,
like,
I'll give you
arguably
another.
the best.
I'll put you another honorable mention that I didn't put on my list. Like Mike Tyson, he didn't make the list, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're still elite level.
You know what I mean?
The top
They're
level.
still high level.
Youngest
but
heavyweight champion in history.
That's one accolade, bro. These guys have ridiculous amounts of accolades.
But Shaq
That's
is
one person.
arguably like the best center of all time. Like they argue between him and a couple others.
He's
So
arguably. That's what I'm saying. That's
yeah.
the level.
But
We're
the-
forgetting.
yeah.
We're not saying he's bad.
Yeah,
We're not saying he's not great. We're just saying he's not that level.
Yeah,
He's maybe a
tiers.
little bit under.
I still think it's fifth.
reckon
I still think it's
I
fifth.
reckon
He still
he'll be
makes
like,
my
Yeah,
list, man.
when I look at my list or even the list, I think he's fifth. He deserves to be fifth.
I
wouldn't argue
Yeah, I
with
wouldn't
you.
argue with
Yeah.
it because I put him 6 and I struggled to.
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you'll
He's
see
on
everyone's
edge.
list and you'll see like who
Yeah.
he put ahead and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. The only reason why I took him off my 5th position was it was gonna be a basketball list.
Yeah, that's yeah. So
I
that's
hear you.
You gotta
understandable. That's
consider other
understandable.
sports.
Yeah,
that
you
makes
know what I
sense.
mean?
Yeah.
Did you put Imran Khan in your top 5?
I'm not gonna say.
And then he put Mo Farah and he sent it to me, and then I said, "Bro, you gotta."
No.
And Mo Farah's an
That's
honourable
first,
mention.
that's
Now that's
first,
actually a
that's
very
first.
good
No,
mention.
me and you
100%.
talked
Not
about
top
it the other
5,
day.
but he has to be mentioned.
Yeah, that's a big name,
He's
man.
broke some secret
He's a
records.
legend, yeah.
Number 4, he was on everyone's list, and Najeem had him at number 3. Zidane.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, nah.
That's
bro.
not a question to me.
100%.
He's ridiculous.
Bro, the
But
influence.
number 4, like better than Shaq, better than Mike
Oh,
Tyson.
Another thing,
you
media
have to remember that.
perception, bro. He's not a funny guy, you know what I mean? You don't watch his videos and start laughing. He's not that entertaining of a person, you know what I mean? So it's not as easy to market.
Yeah, you're right.
But if you actually watch the game and you look at what he's been able to do, it's ridiculous, bro.
When it comes to playing on
Yeah.
the field, bro, like the influence he makes in a whole team, and it's like 11 players compared to basketball, 5 players. It's a lot harder to influence a whole team.
100%.
And he did it on the big stage, like big game
But
player.
then what accomplishments did you make him? Because I didn't have him. I put him 5th.
Why?
Just
Why is he 5th?
only because I looked at other players and the amount of like domination. Because like obviously he won Ballon d'Or,
I hear
he won
that.
World Cup '98. But
He won everything there is to win.
That's
yeah,
what I'm
but
saying.
it's like it's a one-time thing.
Individual
Yeah,
and team.
but then
accolades.
because it was over different, I just looked at Shaq and I saw 3-peat, and I understand how difficult that is to do,
Yeah.
and then go to Miami and win it. That's why I put him ahead. So I want to know, why did you put Zidane so high, and why did you even put him 3rd?
I put
you know,
him,
'cause
didn't
that's-
I put him 3rd as well? I had him
No, you didn't. You put him 4th.
4th.
Yeah,
4th.
yeah.
Go-
And Ali put him 5th.
You know the reason why the reason why I put him there instead of a Shaq? For one reason. Ask the players that played against him. And you see a lot of interviews. They all say top 3 greatest of all time.
It's him.
Some of them have him in his list.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever said Shaq?
Top. No, but
Shaq
Has
is
anyone
always
ever
the
said Shaq?
media. It's literally the media
But
that
most
says it.
starting fives.
You see
that
like
people put
analysts,
Shaq-
you see like analysts, they'll be like, oh, Shaq, the most dominant,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But you don't see what LeBron James say Shaq, and he played with him. He doesn't say Shaq, you know
But
what I mean?
most people that say starting 5, they pick Shaq. Or like there's a majority of people,
But
you
the
know?
thing
So
is-
it's that
no,
kind
no.
of thing. It's different how they pick, you know?
I don't know, bro. Would you have him on your Mount Rushmore? Let's be honest.
No.
If
I
you were
wouldn't.
looking at
No,
your
no,
top
you
5,
wouldn't. No.
I
see,
wouldn't.
for me, and that's your sport.
Yeah.
And I've got a rebuttal to that. You know how you said the starting 5?
Yeah.
When you're making a team, you like having specialists in specific things, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean they're better. Like, for example, in my team, sometimes I might not have Steph Curry. Maybe I want a point guard that passes more, so then LeBron James can do
I think
more,
it's just,
you know what I
it
mean?
depends on how
So
people
it
pick.
depends
Yeah.
on how you want your style
Yeah.
of
I
team to
also
play.
think
It's an opinion.
Shaq, it's like, I know that if I get the ball, like if I throw him a lob, it's over, you know what I mean? Any other centers in that list, it might not be over. Maybe they're
Yeah,
going to
it's
catch it.
questionable.
They might do a move, you know what I mean? Shaq, you know, if it's in the air, it's dunked, it's finished.
Finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Ali, you had him there
yeah,
too.
I also don't. I think people don't realize the difficulty of actually winning a World Cup. Like, yes, they were the host nation, but I was listening to like some of the highlights and that about them. They weren't even like the favorites at all. They
Not
were,
even
Who
close.
they beat?
they beat the defending champions
You remember
Brazil.
you put Shaq in front of
I
Zidane,
know,
yeah?
I kind of regret that. But like, anyways,
Legendary did the
starting to think
same.
about it now.
Yeah.
But like, it's actually people don't realize because the national team, you're not with them often, like throughout the whole year.
100%.
You play one game every like, let's just say month or two, and you go train with them for a bit. You go back to your club,
And do you
and
know
then
how
you go to
yeah.
you go to like on the world stage versus all the other countries. There's so much at stake. You're representing your country. There's so much more, and you're playing only one game. Like there's just so much emotions
There's
involved.
so many other soccer players like Ribery, Mohamed Salah that people were saying Mane, you know, like at that
Bro,
level.
no one's done what Zidane's
Yeah.
done.
So it
Yeah.
wasn't even like
Look.
question.
Nah, like
Okay, because
the-
everyone puts Zidane.
the sort
That's
of
why.
influence he
And
has.
and another thing people that forget is the 2006 World Cup.
Yeah, Van
Oh,
Azar.
before
People
the headbutt?
forget that.
Yeah.
No, he retired before the World Cup started.
Yeah.
They begged him to play in that World Cup. Like
Yeah.
they begged him to play. He
You watched
was
what he
retired.
did to Brazil
So-
that year?
Yeah, so he's supposed to be washed. Yeah. In the quarterfinals, he versus arguably the greatest assembled World Cup team in history. They've got Brazilian Ronaldo, who was considered the best striker in the world. They've got
Probably
prime,
all time. Probably all time.
Probably all time. They've got prime Ronaldinho. Not like old age Ronaldinho, not young Ronaldinho. Prime. He won the Ballon d'Or that year. Then they've got Kaká that won the Ballon d'Or the year after. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the best assembled team in World Cup history.
And-
One person demolished them. Thierry
Yeah.
Henry played,
See, Ashraf,
but
Go,
Zidane demolished
till
them.
this day, they're still showing highlights of this game that was in 06,
It
bro.
is
It's 2021.
disgusting.
It's one of
It
the
was like
performances that will
35
go
or
down in history
something
for
like
like
that.
almost forever.
So are you trying to change your list with Zidane?
Look,
It's like-
look, and still,
No, I love the guy,
and
bro.
still, we're not
It's
done about the World Cup. They made it to the World Cup final. Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone forgets he scored in the World Cup final.
Yeah.
That's
Scored the
penalty.
first
Yeah.
goal.
The pen.
He
Yeah.
scored a pen, and he didn't just pass it in. He chipped it. He
Yeah.
did one of those. What they
That-
call
that's
it? Hits the crossbar.
People don't realize
Yeah.
the pressure for
Penalty
penalties,
cards.
It was
especially in the final.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's confident. That's
Cool,
confidence.
calm. I remember
Yeah.
watching the game sitting down. I was watching it in the morning. I was like in like grade 2 or something like that. Can't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'm watching it, and he was completely dominating the whole game. Then the headbutt happens.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the headbutt, I almost guarantee they would have won the World Cup.
You pull something.
And
like
that would have been the only 2 World Cups at that time France have won, and it was both because of him.
Yeah, bro.
And they were
Subhanallah.
both underdogs
Yeah.
at the time. No one expected them to win it. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
He deserves fourth.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That means if he's fourth and he's having these accomplishments, it's a big list.
I regret not having him higher.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
regret
yeah,
not
No,
having
I'm
him
starting
higher.
to talk about him. Like I'm starting to realize.
Najeem had him the highest. He had him third.
But the only reason why I didn't put him third above a certain other
Mm-hmm.
brother is because obviously the caliber of people that he had around him too. See, this is the thing. I know he
Not
was.
the
I know he
first
was dominant. I know
Mm-hmm.
he was probably the main reason why they killed it in the World Cup and in Real Madrid and Juventus. But for me, it's like there's always that question mark. Having that caliber of talent, bro. Thierry Henry's he's not a joke.
Wait, are you saying for
Yeah.
the World Cup they won 98?
However,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
98 they had
98,
no
they-
one.
they didn't have the
Thierry
best
Henry
squad.
was like 17 or something like
Bro,
that. Like
they
he was a kid.
They were the 13th favorite in
They-
that
well,
World Cup.
not just that. Hey, another point to
13th.
that. He's wearing the jersey. Another point to that, bro. They look at the stats, like the scores. Every game they won like 1-0. They struggled
Yeah,
to
they
win
struggled in that
every
World Cup.
single game. Struggled, and then they versed Brazil in the final. And at
Brazil
that
had a
time,
good team in '98.
and at that
That was a
time,
hectic team.
the Brazilian Ronaldo was the best player in the world by far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was the top
21
scorer.
years old or
No
so,
one
yeah.
could stop him.
Pre-injury, yeah.
Zidane, people knew him, but he wasn't Zidane. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Didn't he score like?
He scored two goals.
Scored 2 goals.
Man of the match.
Man of the
In the
match.
finals?
Bro.
Yeah.
Destroyed
clutch.
it.
Clutch
So
Jane.
that's his thing, bro. When it comes
Yeah.
to clutch moments, it's over. Like, look, in the 2006 World Cup, he scored in the final as well.
Yeah.
Champions League when they won it.
Against Leverkusen.
What do you do, bro?
He
What do you
scored
do?
Left foot volley.
It's one of the
from,
best
like,
goals in history.
How high in the
Yeah,
air?
one of the
that-
best goals
In
in
the
history.
opposite foot. He's waiting like 5 minutes
That's
for the
what
ball
I'm
to come
saying.
down.
Different
Top
effort.
corner. He scores the
It's-
winner. Man of the
it's-
match.
He doesn't want all the attention, but when it matters, it's over. You know what I mean? He doesn't
Yeah.
want the personal awards.
No,
He
he's
just
not
he
that
just wants
type.
to win the big trophy at the end. You know what I mean? And he does it. So to me, I reckon I
He
should have
deserves
put
his
him higher,
fourth
bro.
position. He had him third. Should have been higher.
That's crazy.
Okay, interesting.
Third's a nice spot.
Nah,
I
this
could
one,
say
okay.
maybe.
Now we're going third, middle of the pack. So he was on everyone's list again.
Yeah.
Najeem had him last, and Ali had him first.
Yeah.
It's Khabib.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wait,
You had
third?
him first.
Bro, undefeated, bro. He hasn't lost.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
How do you
Yeah.
not? How do you not
Yeah.
put him first?
This is my air
That
raid
doesn't make
moment.
sense to
Yeah.
me.
This is my air raid moment now. Yeah.
No, yeah, I want to know.
Najeem
why.
already mentioned it from before,
Mhm.
but arguably only lost one round ever.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
insane.
you're telling me that he's in UFC, bro. UFC is the top of the top in MMA. Like I genuinely don't believe that there's any other organization that has fighters better than the caliber of UFC. Not only did he bring them in, yeah, and he fought against these guys, he didn't only hold his own, he murdered them, bro.
Destroyed him.
It was
100%.
like, come here, your level's below me,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, let me just finish you as well. What he did to Conor McGregor in arguably Conor McGregor's prime. Listen,
He said he wasn't ready for that.
he's a liar, bro. All
Nah,
I'm
but you
gonna
have to,
tell
you
you
have to, you
is,
still have to take. You have to still have to say what he said.
Nah, I think he
Yeah.
was ready, bro.
all I'm gonna
I can-
tell you is
that's not he says. You know.
McGregor, and you can see it on the opponents that he's had in the past. it takes a special kind of person to verse him and not feel a thing.
100%.
Poirier
Like,
himself,
so the mental side of it, you're saying.
the mental side of
Okay,
it is
that's-
actually way bigger than the actual physical side of it. He's got a mad left hand, bro.
Who, Khabib?
No, McGregor.
Yeah,
McGregor's
he's the
left,
best- he's the
If he
best
touches
striker
you
in
with
his
the
weight
left,
class,
it's
easily,
over,
yeah.
it's over.
McGregor's left hand is so
Yeah.
accurate, and if it cracks you,
Mm.
you have to have a mad chin to stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or to at least take one of those. Khabib knocked him down.
Khabib's got chins, bro.
Habib knocked him down,
Yeah.
bro. And he stood there with him. He's like, you know what? Let me also do what you do, and then let me finish you how I want to finish you, because I think I'm getting sick of all this.
Bro.
This
So,
hype.
wait,
I'm not gonna lie, that day shocked me, bro. I was watching the TV. I couldn't believe it, bro. He jumped over the fence, bro.
Bro, don't you remember
Wait.
during the fight? He's hitting him. Let's talk now. Let's
Second
talk
round.
now.
Legit, it was like, wait,
Bro, I was
bro.
laughing my
You
head
can
off.
take
Felt
his
like
head
child
out of the
abuse
game.
somehow, bro.
Hey, so wait, why did you have him last?
I had him last because I said this list, the things that they have accomplished is ridiculous. But I've got one thing when it comes to like the UFC, his competition. How many people is he really competing against?
Yeah, that's why I didn't put him higher.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the number one.
And I didn't say my
and
point.
another thing, it's a very young sport. So people start doing well and straight away they start getting considered as one of the greatest. You know what I mean? Do you know how much you have to do in soccer before people start talking to you like as if you're like on the level as Pele,
Yeah.
Maradona,
Yeah,
and
the
all-
many
and all
years
those
that go
other
into
ones.
that. Yeah, the stats
100%.
in that you have to catch up
That's
to.
what I'm saying. You
And
know
then
what I mean?
records aren't broken in for 30 years.
Exactly.
You
Like,
know? That's
bro,
what you gotta be.
every new UFC fighter is breaking a new record. It's
Yeah.
almost annoying.
Listen, the reason why I'll argue against that is because you haven't seen anyone like Khabib ever.
I
Like,
know, but
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he's
I
a
haven't
welterweight fighting
seen
in
much.
the lightweight division.
no, that's different. See that?
But
That
You're
right
right,
there?
you're right.
yeah,
I agree.
he has 4 title fights. He had, like, when you look at the other
That's
players
a
like Zidane.
disadvantage. The weight
I
cut
know,
is
I
a
know.
small
disadvantage.
sample
But if you
size.
look
The
at
weight cut is a
Zidane, if
disadvantage.
you look at Shaq, if you look at whoever else is on the list, you might look and say longevity of their career.
20 years.
Zidane, you
Yeah.
spoke about what he did for 8 years, 98, 2006, Sivaning Amak. Khabib has had how many title fights? 4.
That's what we
How many,
say.
bi-
Fuji,
how many
Poirier.
big, how many big fights has he had?
Poirier
Really?
is huge.
I know,
I'll
but-
be honest
I
with
don't
you.
know,
Poirier
but
is a huge
when you
fight.
look at other
A lot of
names,
people underrated him for no
How
reason.
But when
many
you look at
absolute
Zidane,
superstars has he faced?
like you talk about the big games and like the big moments, Khabib is still like the small sample size. If he had more games, if he had like a record for longer, if he was in the game for longer, he could easily argue better.
I want to ask you a question.
But I can't look at 5 fights, 5 big fights and say he's the
That's
best.
But,
100%
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
before Khabib,
Mhm.
who was the only fighter you've ever known in the UFC?
Oh, I knew about McGregor
but-
and then Anderson
Yeah,
Silva.
just kind of.
And
that-
John Jones.
That's
But
all I wanna
McGregor's
say.
been beat a couple times.
McGregor,
Now, bro.
don't worry about him being beat.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, McGregor, you know the way they say there's an aura about a person
Mm.
that it actually like it makes people feel small.
Yeah,
To face that,
You see it and
Yeah.
you just buckle, yeah.
and not only face that, there was actually a crowd back then as well.
Yeah,
So obviously
destroyed
Poirier
him.
did it without a crowd.
Yeah,
Mm.
Well,
bit
it wasn't a
easier.
big crowd.
It's
It
a
was
bit easier,
2000. Yeah.
much easier.
McGregor went in. Nate Diaz, look.
I say against Khabib, yeah? This-
Nate Diaz, the mind games don't work because it doesn't register.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't register with Nate Diaz.
He'll forget it straight away.
You know what I mean? It doesn't exist. He I don't know what happened. There's no computing there.
It doesn't
So,
process
you know
it.
the broadband sound? That one there. That's what happens. Yeah. That's why he was like immune to McGregor's. Have you ever watched?
trash talking.
You know the SpongeBob episode when Flats tried to nick SpongeBob? He just kept punching him.
I haven't seen
He was
it.
laughing,
Remember?
yeah?
Oh,
He's
yeah,
a
yeah,
sponge,
he's
yeah.
giggling,
Yeah.
and they just absorbed it.
Yeah.
Basically, the same thing with Nate Diaz. He absorbed all these mental
Oh,
blows because
100%.
he's like, I don't even understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
You're probably
100%.
offending me. And McGregor's doing his best sorcery with words. He's looking at him. He's like, because I don't understand anything you're saying, but we'll throw hands.
Yeah,
That's why the
100%.
first time they fought, and second time
say
I
Conor
genuinely
and Nate,
believe
yeah?
Nate Diaz won again. But
Ooh,
it's
okay.
arguable.
That's interesting.
But this is the thing with McGregor, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
The thing with McGregor is anybody in their right mind who faces him knows that there's something bigger there. Eddie Alvarez wasn't a joke.
That
You have,
was
to, you have to go back. You have to go
incredible.
back to Khabib.
Yeah,
Why?
you're
'cause
getting a bit.
you're the only
Okay.
person that put him second. Ali first. Everyone else had him third and below.
He makes grown men look like children. This is
What,
the
four
thing.
times?
I agree.
And
Four
if
times?
you listen to Daniel Cormier as a heavyweight,
Mm.
Daniel Cormier is a heavyweight, and he is arguably the best heavyweight wrestler. Yeah,
Okay.
because he's an Olympic.
Yeah,
Olympic
I understand.
wrestler.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous. Yeah, they
Big
train.
DC.
He goes. It's like I'm wrestling heavyweights.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
But you got to
people
talk
come
about
in,
performance in the ring, like his.
bro. But listen to what I'm telling you. Performance in the ring. What else does he need to show
Nah,
you,
but it's
bro?
not actual. It's not
Undefeated
actual. It's not.
No.
Yeah, that.
No,
but
no, but
4 fights.
It's true.
Like 4 big fights.
That's what we're saying. We're not saying that he's not one of the greatest. He
Yeah,
definitely
he's
is.
third though.
It's just the thing is, it's such a small sample size. You can't just put him that high. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If
Yeah, I
look,
get you. I get you.
It's easy to
right-
hit
right
the
now
goat of
for me-
UFCs
for
because
me
he's
the-
jumping up every year.
for me, the biggest thing is if he doesn't if he comes back from retirement now and then fights for like maybe another 10 years and adds to that resume, then we put him in
Yeah.
lists like this.
Still undefeated.
Yeah.
But look, he's got what do you call it? 2-digit numbers of what do you call it? How many fights he's had or whatever.
29.
29.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
These basketball players, how many games do they play,
but
bro?
this is what I'm telling you.
Hundreds, maybe
But-
thousands,
But
bro.
the lifespan of a fighter,
Yeah.
yeah,
But I'm saying
it's a
still,
lot smaller than somebody
Yeah.
doing games, yeah.
but it's
That's
still
why
not
you
that
shouldn't rush
small.
it. You
You need
shouldn't
at
rush
least
it.
6 months training camp,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you got to weight cut, and
Yeah.
then you got to actually fight, bro. It's actually something.
Why can't he
that-
fight in 2 divisions?
listen,
he should be able
that's
to.
what
No,
I'm
no, no.
saying.
But see, that expectation only came because of McGregor. Beforehand, and all purists know this in
know,
MMA.
but-
Your division, if you clean out your division, regardless of what anyone says,
Yeah,
if
you're the
you're on
best.
the pound for pound list, for example, light heavyweight, John
Yeah.
Jones cleaned out his division.
Yeah.
That's why he's
100%.
arguably one of the goats,
Mm.
if not the goat.
See another one, bro. This is what I mean. They just fling it anyway,
But look,
bro.
okay, you
I
take
remember,
negative-
hey, McGregor won 2 fights. They're saying he's one of the greatest ever. I'm like, already?
No, but see that right there, I would argue.
Yeah.
I would argue
Yeah.
against McGregor for
But-
one reason.
Mhm.
He's more of a showman. He's
No,
not,
but I'm saying
Nah,
before
but when
the
he was in
Khabib,
his hype, running
before the
max
Khabib
60
loss,
seconds.
would you disagree? After the Alvarez, after what he did to Alvarez,
Nate
after
Diaz-
what he did to whatever his
Yeah.
name,
He
the
was
Brazilian
peaking
one.
before
Nah, Nate Diaz fight was too
Nate
much.
Diaz showed everyone.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
No, but he went up like 2 weight classes, bro. It's ridiculous. Bro, McGregor's like 140. He went up to like 170.
Yeah, no.
It's
McGregor actually walks around at
ridiculous.
155. He was cutting
He
a lot
walks
of weight.
around,
to get
but
close
No,
to
no, but at
155.
that time,
No, no, no.
he was fighting under. Remember the fight against the
No,
Brazilian
I
guy?
know you went to 170. Jose Aldo, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was saying, I don't, like 155
doesn't
is
like
my
it.
natural weight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was more comfortable fighting at 155 than 145.
Yeah, that's like
So
Khabib,
for him,
isn't it?
that's Khabib's weight range. But for him, yeah, when he goes 170 against Nate Diaz, he just wanted to flaunt
Prove it.
something.
Mm.
You know
And he
what I mean?
did though.
They're about the same weight range. So
Yeah.
there's no argument that, Nate Diaz is a bit, he's a taller guy.
Yeah.
He's
He seems
arguably
much
a
taller.
bigger
bro.
guy. He's 6'1".
Yeah,
Something
McGregor's
like
a
that.
small
Don't you
man, bro.
think-
Not even like an athlete.
5'9",
Just a small
5'10".
man.
Where
Yeah.
Khabib is third, you have him second. Don't you think for what he's done just in the lightweight division, he didn't go to welterweight? Don't you think like if he was in if he fought for say 3 more fights and he went to a different division and ran amok even for a couple of them, then you could start putting him second.
But that's for the
'Cause what-
people that aren't MMA purists.
No,
But
but
we're
that's
at,
what we're
we're at a
saying.
different caliber.
Look,
the
No, no,
the
no,
names
but
here
that's
is like
what I
too
mean.
We're
much.
saying the adversity. He hasn't had as much adversity as the rest of these
I'll
guys.
ask you a
What has
question.
he had to face and overcome?
Would you put Daniel Cormier, would you put him in the conversation as one of the GOAT fighters in the UFC history?
Man, I don't know that much about
He
UFC,
has 2
but
titles
from
in
what
2
I know,
different
I wouldn't.
divisions. He has 2
No, I
titles in
wouldn't.
2 different
I
divisions.
wouldn't. I wouldn't
You know-
because
you know
he
why?
doesn't feel dominant.
John Jones manhandled him.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
John Jones left, and for example, someone comes in and goes, hang on, this guy held simultaneous titles. He should actually be considered the GOAT. Because he did beat Miocic.
Yeah.
He did. They knocked him out too. But the thing is, for people, yeah, you have to look at how dominant the fighter is. I guarantee you, if Khabib goes and fights in welterweight, he's manhandling whoever's
But
there.
he hasn't.
He's
That's the
got-
thing. You can't
That's what
say
we're
if.
saying.
Listen,
yeah.
what I'm telling you is, has anyone shown otherwise?
No,
But
but
I
look,
want to go to Ali
But they
because
haven't
Ali
been
had him
close to it.
first.
Look,
Whoa.
honestly, I'm not really a big UFC guy. That's why I haven't been saying much. But then I'm just looking at that pure dominance in his own sport. 29-0, only 1 round. Like he didn't even come close. Like there was no one that came close to him.
But you know, in the dominance, it's been like recently. A lot of the
what I'm
early fights don't
saying.
really count as fights. People come
Right.
into the UFC 15-0.
Do you know who he fought beforehand?
I don't know that much. I'm
It's
saying,
Barboza. He's not a joke.
look.
Yeah,
okay,
but it's-
they might not be jerks, but I'm saying they're not considered as some of the greatest ever.
Yeah.
He's not versing the greatest ever and beating the greatest ever.
But listen,
Maybe in time,
he ever gonna get a fight with
no,
John
what I'm
Jones?
saying, maybe in time. No, I'm saying you give it time. If he keeps fighting for like maybe another 10 years, some young guys come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They start dominating the sport. He faces them and beats them. Then you can put him above these guys. You know
the
what I mean?
Anderson Silva argument right there.
What?
Right there, and then I'll tell you straight up. Fighters, yeah, they only have a certain lifespan.
That is
Past
true.
the lifespan, yeah, what happens is they start to not only fatigue, but there's like kind of like you know when you get worn out because of how
Yeah.
many battles.
Yeah,
or how
they
many
say fighters
hits you
only
take.
have a certain amount of fights in them.
You get where
Yeah.
I'm coming from?
Mm.
So a lot of the problems with older fighters or legends, for example, that takes away from the legacy is that they don't know when to quit.
Yeah,
Anderson Silva is
I've got
one.
someone on my list that did that.
Nobody doesn't understand how good Anderson Silva was. Yeah, when he was in his prime, untouchable.
I used to watch it, but I was like 10, so I didn't get it either, bro.
So-
Untouchable. But the thing is, he stayed around because
Yeah.
he loved fighting.
He looks terrible now.
Exactly. He is
He,
getting.
he stayed too long. But there's levels to it. There's leaving early, leaving after 5 fights.
Then there's
But
a
so-
sweet spot, you
yeah.
know what I mean? There's
So-
a sweet spot.
think this
Ali,
was-
you're,
I think he's
Do
gone
you-
too early.
Do you feel like he left on a high?
He left on
Yeah.
Too much of
too
a
much
high?
of a high.
You know, he wanted to come back. You know what he said?
It's-
He actually said after the Poirier versus Conor McGregor fight, he goes, "I will come back,
Yeah.
but he goes, I need to see something." And then he watched what Poirier did to McGregor, and he goes, "What's the point?
That's what I'm saying.
I
yeah.
manhandled him, and I manhandled him."
I think
competition
Khabib.
does he
No,
have
I think
next?
Khabib is thinking what we're thinking right now. He needs someone to be built up huge, so then he can beat
the hype,
him.
yeah.
GSP was
Look,
one
it's,
that
it's,
they
it's
want.
almost like right now if Michael Jordan retired after the first 3-peat.
Yeah, it's
He
it
wouldn't
seems
be the
similar,
GOAT,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
It's too early. It's way too early.
that.
The sample size is too small,
I think,
bro.
I think you're comparing
No, and
potatoes to
yeah, no, but
whatever
another thing I'm
carrots,
saying,
whatever that saying
bro.
is, bro.
So
Hey, we'll
look,
go on-
alright, skip, go
yeah,
on,
we'll go on to the
Yeah,
next
go,
one because it's all going to be interlinked now. The
So-
top 3.
So you said 2 people had him third. What about
What is he on the
Legendary?
list?
It's the same. He had him 3rd. Me
Okay.
and Legendary put Khabib 3rd.
I'll put him
Okay,
5th,
interesting.
right?
It's only because
So-
I was talking.
So either way, top 3.
Right, to him.
'Cause,
Yeah. So now we're going to go to the top 2.
Ooh,
Okay.
Ooh, who's number 1?
There was a difference between 2 votes.
I'm on edge.
The person
bro.
that came second. Oh no, then Najeem will know. Okay. The person that came second lost by 2 votes. So
So wait, so with everyone in the like the voting system was always 1 and 2.
yeah, he was
these
always
2
1
people.
and 2.
Same 2 people.
The person that came second came 3rd once and 4th
Okay.
once.
third and fourth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
interesting.
outrageous. But
Yeah.
carry on.
And I was by Ali and Najeem. So number 1 is Kareem. Number 2
Yes!
is Muhammad Ali.
What?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
Kareem was in
Wait,
everyone's top 3.
You're
Kareem was in
joking.
Wait,
everyone's top 3.
Tell me what I said. I'm confused.
You put Muhammad Ali 3rd and
You're
Kareem on top
out.
of him.
You're outrageous. You did
Thank
that on
you,
purpose to
thank
rig the
you,
voting
yeah.
system.
it's because of
You
Mashallah,
did that on
that's
purpose to
beautiful.
rig the voting
Kareem
system.
was
'cause he likes
first, yeah.
basketball.
No.
Muhammad Ali was 4th.
Have you watched
Nah,
any
that's
documentaries from
outrageous.
Muhammad Ali?
Bro, oh no, I have. But the thing is, as soon as he said it's early what they've done on the canvas or whatever,
Oh, no.
that's when he went to number 2.
Who's your number 1? Say it again.
Kareem. It's
Yeah.
not even close to me. To me, it's not even close.
See, Ali put Kareem in front of Muhammad Ali
then
as well.
I thing is, I was so close to putting Kareem first, but then this Khabib
See?
29-0 thing, it's just like he's
Yeah,
undefeated
I
in
get what you
sport.
mean.
I don't know too much, but then
See, bro,
Kareem
that's
is
what I'm
just
saying.
dominant.
That's a good
The
argument, though, I'll be
the
honest.
record messes with you, bro.
Exactly.
Because Muhammad Ali could have had a very similar record if he didn't go to jail for 3
Yeah,
years
this a
at
lot
the age of
ifs.
25, bro.
Yeah.
See, but you have to understand, he ended up winning a title even after.
But no, that's what
3
I'm
times
saying.
he won it.
Rumble
No,
in
no,
the
but
Jungle
that's what I'm saying.
Club.
That's why I put Muhammad Ali above Khabib.
Same.
But he doesn't compare with the dominance of Kareem.
Nah,
Kareem is literally media perception. That's why he's not
Bro,
considered number 1.
Kareem in college, they changed the rules. People couldn't dunk, bro, for 10 years. You know,
Dunking
ridiculous that
became
sounds? He
illegal,
was
bro.
7'2". What's his name? Lou.
He's Lou
Alcindor?
Alcindor.
I think so.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's just say.
Young Ahmed, hit us.
So right, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
It's ridiculous.
previous.
Bro, before the
Islam
NBA,
name.
you can't play
Yeah.
college the first year. He won a 3-peat in college. And then he won 6
Oh,
No,
times
no,
in the
wait,
NBA.
wait,
that, I
no, wait.
read that.
Before that, bro. In his high school career, high school's about 3-4 years in America. He lost 6 games.
All through high school.
All through high school, he lost 6 games.
But there's different levels of dominance.
Kareem's
21
my number
years.
2. Listen,
Nah,
Kareem's
he's
my
not.
number
He's
2.
your number 3.
6.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't have
you
number
put
2.
Muhammad Ali, Khabib, Kareem.
No, I didn't. Wait. Let me
What do
check.
you mean,
let
bro?
me
He's
check.
looking at the list,
I'm
bro.
pretty sure that I had Khabib.
Hey, look at him trying to aerate all the podcast, bro.
bro.
Bro, the camera's
Nah.
on, he starts changing, bro.
Bro, with Kareem, you know what his college record was? His team,
What?
88-2,
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, did
71
Khabib?
No, no,
consecutive wins.
Okay.
Did you hear that? Did you see his college
I
record?
did. I had
And
Kareem
that's-
third.
They obviously banned the dunk, like I said before, right? And then what did he create?
The Skyhawk.
Do you know-
The skyhook.
Do you know what he
It's
did in the NBA?
ridiculous, bro. It
Hey,
literally
I know
doesn't
it's
make sense.
unstoppable.
Hey,
Yeah, I
listen to
knew
this.
that, yeah.
He came in the league 69. Milwaukee started as a new team. When he got traded, he got drafted them. 71, he won the title.
Did you play for Oscar Robertson?
Hey,
then?
wait,
Yeah.
can I?
See,
But not for long.
Can I
No,
say
not for
one
long.
thing?
Not
But
for long.
finals
For
MVP.
like,
Can
for
I
like,
say
for like
one-
1 or 2
I
years
need
or
to say
something.
one
At
ridiculous
his
thing.
prime.
Do you guys know how he got drafted?
I actually don't know.
So he got
this story.
drafted in 1969. 68 was the first season for Phoenix Suns and Milwaukee Bucks in their foundation.
Mhm.
They got founded that year. So as a franchise, their first year, obviously as expected, they both finished last in the
Yeah,
division.
terrible, obviously.
So they got pick 1 and 2. But how did they determine who got that? A coin toss.
Oh, you'll be burning.
The most dominant college
You
player in
be
history, and obviously till
burning.
today, got drafted.
Phoenix Suns are
Got drafted
nobody's.
by a coin
Oh my
toss. You know who
God.
the other guy was? I had to research him. Neil Walk. He got like 7,000 points. No, NBA championship.
Bro,
Some
I'll
white
be
guy.
hurt, bro.
Harden does that in 2
I'm
seasons.
swinging, bro. I'll be swinging.
3 seasons.
That's
Bro, it's
ridiculous.
insane. Like,
No, but hey, before we get to NBA, just think about what he did in college, bro.
yeah, that's
This is-
scary.
Bro, first of all, high school, you've lost 6 games.
Yeah. Hey,
6.
I have to-
You've played hundreds.
But I have to also say, a legendary basketball fan, put Muhammad Ali in front of Kareem.
Yeah, but he doesn't
So
get it. Look,
you and legendary did that, and then we put Kareem in front of
Okay, I'll let you
Muhammad Ali.
finish your point.
Just so we
because
know everyone's.
Then I'll counteract
Yeah.
whatever
Alright, look,
my belief.
another
was.
thing, it's easier to be great. It's easier to seem like one of the greatest when you're in a one-on-one sport. You know what I mean? So like Khabib, it's easy for him to seem like one of the greatest because it's literally early him. If he wins, you're like, oh, this guy's very good. He wins
Yeah.
again. Oh, he's one of the best. Basketball, a lot of teams can win for a long period of time, and none of their players are seen as one of the best players. So do you imagine how dominant you have to be to not only be better than all 5 of your own players,
Double-edged sword.
and then you have to be better than all 5 of the next teams. No, and
Double-edged
Kareem,
sword.
it was not on good teams, bro.
Magic Johnson.
No, that's bro. He was 40.
Nah,
Do you know how long he played for, bro?
It was towards the end of his career.
Kareem
It was 13
Abdul-Jabbar.
years.
How many did he win?
Kareem
How many did he win?
Abdul-Jabbar played
6
for about
titles.
20-something years. Or something
21
like
years,
that, bro.
longest ever.
42 years
How
old.
many- So he won 6 titles.
Yeah.
Who were the 6 titles with?
Okay, he won.
I
to
know
be
he's
honest-
the NBA
no,
scoring leader.
No, that's
Yeah,
that's
I
a
know
good
that.
point.
Yeah,
He
it is.
won 1 with his first team,
Bucks.
And
and
5
then he
with
won
the,
5 with what do you call it, Magic.
Yeah, Showtime
But
Lakers.
look.
But hey, when I talk about Showtime Lakers, he won Finals MVP with them. They say
He
Showtime
was the
Lakers
player.
when it mattered
He
most.
was the player.
Magic said, "All I do is give the ball to Kareem."
It's literally because,
I get you.
bro, I
He
told
said
you,
that's- Magic
media
wasn't a shooter
perception.
like that.
I get it.
Media perception, they had to put Magic Johnson as like the best player because he's easy to market. He's a funny
Yeah.
guy. He likes pictures. You know what I mean?
Kareem
Kareem's
hated-
like a quiet,
he hated the
antisocial
media.
Muslim guy.
He actually
Apparently,
hated,
they'll
like,
interview him and he was like
Wasn't
visibly
sh-
upset.
Yeah.
It was like if right now Kawhi becomes by far the best player.
Mm.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
Like,
And
he's
just
2
scoring,
times
yeah.
as
It's a
good
good
as
comparison.
LeBron. Imagine how boring the NBA is gonna seem.
Yeah, no, I get you. I
There's
get
no
you, I get
funny
you. He's not
moments. He's
marketable,
literally
yeah.
just
Yeah,
standing
he's not.
still, bro.
He was in a movie with Bruce Lee, but
They didn't
Yeah,
talk
that's
much.
true,
Yeah,
but
like
he
not
didn't
about
talk.
really
Come
like
on,
that.
let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Bro, and
It's only because he was friends. It wasn't because he was an icon.
I don't even know how they found the jumpsuit big enough for that, bro. Well-
Look, and we're talking about the greatest, right? Like the best of the best.
100%.
So I'm saying Khabib is very unstoppable, obviously. From what we've seen, he hasn't been stopped. Now, imagine in a sport like basketball, everyone gets blocked, everyone gets rejected. Imagine in a team sport like that where there's multiple people trying to stop you and you have something considered as the unstoppable shot.
But you
Imagine in
you
soccer,
created it from thin air,
exactly.
like,
Imagine,
literally.
imagine in soccer there was a soccer player that had an unstoppable shot. Every time he put on his right foot, it's top corner.
Messi.
Think about
no,
that's not.
This is different.
Literally think about that.
Left
It
finesse,
makes
bro.
no sense,
Wallah.
bro.
But think about this.
Yeah.
1990, he retired. It's been 30 years. He scored 38,000 points then, like 5,000 more than the next guy, or even
as a
more
centre.
at the
No
time.
one's close.
So why isn't people remaking the shot? Because it's actually that difficult to do.
Ridiculous to do.
Because think about it, 30 years you haven't
Bro.
remade the shot. Like no one can actually do it well.
Some
No one even
people
does it in
try.
NBA.
Exactly. And another point to what he's saying is at that time, right now, NBA, you look at the scores of whoever played today or whatever, it will be like 120 to 130. Back then, they to score to 80 points, bro.
Yeah.
Like the games will be like 80 to 70, 80
For
to,
70,
to
so,
90 max, you know what I mean?
No
Every
three-pointers.
once in a while you get to
There's
100.
no
but
three-point shot.
that's what
How
I'm
many
saying.
seasons did he play?
He
21.
played like 20-something
21,
years.
yeah.
That's how unstoppable
Yeah.
the shot was. The shot was so unstoppable. When he had zero athletic ability, as long as he could still put his arm up like this, they
Yeah.
still put him on the court. And not just on a team, on the best team.
Yeah, but let me.
And he won Finals
See,
MVP.
this is the thing. This is the reason why I want to counteract it.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
blessed with height. 7'2",
That's true.
closer to the rim.
There's a lot of
easier to
players
shot.
like that. There's a lot.
But I know. But
Mhm.
obviously that doesn't discount for how good he is.
Mm.
Okay.
100%.
I'm not trying to move that away. But one thing is, he has that capability for it to be easier for him.
That's
Number
true.
one.
You got a point.
Yeah. Number two, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I already made that point. Was he played with Magic and he played with Oscar Robertson.
Mm.
But the reason why isn't because well, he just didn't do anything in the. No, he did. Obviously, he's probably the biggest influence on the team.
Yeah.
But that support helps. You know what I mean? Muhammad Ali had everything stacked against him.
Nah, we'll talk about him.
Gold
in a sec,
medal.
Yeah.
Yeah, number one, gold medalist in an Olympic Games where he had everything stacked against him. Yeah.
Bro, people always win gold medals, bro. they,
No,
they don't give it out once
but-
every 25 years, bro.
Did
Relax.
Mayweather get one?
I don't
Did he
know,
ever
bro. I
want
don't
to?
care
If he
about
wanted to,
He
he
Mayweather.
got a bronze. He got a bronze.
But if he wanted to go back,
But-
he could.
No, no,
Hey,
no,
but
no,
that's
no,
too
no.
good.
That's what I'm saying.
No, no,
bro.
no, but
Hey,
listen,
Kurt Angle
listen
got
to
a
what
gold
I'm
medal, bro.
Kurt Angle. Don't get me started. But listen to what I'm saying, yeah? We don't know how hard it was for a person of his his color at that time.
Very difficult.
So you're telling me,
difficult.
first of all, he had to fight off.
They're the same color.
I know that. But what I'm saying is,
I'm saying
All of the same color at the same time, bro.
I understand. But it's a combat sport. Basketball's not life and death. So you're not coming in one-on-one and then all of a sudden, oh no, my skyhook might not work because I have my inner critic coming in now. No, and then someone just clocks you, knocks you out. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is Muhammad Ali had to deal with a life and death situation.
I like Muhammad Ali. He's
I get it. But
he would have been number one if it wasn't based on just on
he would have been
Yes,
number
the
one
same case.
if he lost less. Because obviously,
he lost a
because you
lot
have
as
to
well.
look at that.
Listen to what I'm saying.
I'm not
It's
gonna
the same,
lie.
'cause
I'm
Ali
not gonna lie. The record
because
broke my heart,
Ali
bro.
spoke about
Yeah, I know.
being unbeatable. Obviously, he lost, and that's the only thing.
I know,
If he lost
I get it.
one fight, but he didn't.
Even
It's-
if he lost
yeah,
a couple, would have been
but-
alright. But it's not just like one or two,
He
bro.
showed signs of his illness popping up.
Yeah, it's true.
But the thing is, obviously the medical advancements hadn't kicked in yet, so they weren't able to locate the situation. It's kind of similar to the doctor that I grew up with. He used to always tell me, Panadol, everything calm. Yeah,
Sounds
but
like
listen,
traumatic experience, bro.
I gotta air myself out. You're right. I did get it. But anyways,
It happens.
listen. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, for all we know, everything kicked in just then. So he was handicapped in those fights.
But we don't know.
That's
It's the same thing
possible.
as
But
the Conor
listen, for
saying.
all we know,
If buts or
Before you
maybes,
said
bro.
Conor, he was 100%. I'm like, he wasn't. Then
Yeah.
it's the same thing. We don't know.
but towards the end of Kareem's career,
Yeah.
would you say he was still as dominant as when he began?
He wasn't as dominant,
in
but
his 19th year, he won a title, bro.
I gotta go on for that, bro. He wasn't as dominant as he was, but he was more dominant than everyone else.
Yeah. His 19th
That's
year, he won a
it's
title.
ridiculous.
Bro,
He was the finals MVP.
And do you know what you have to remember
He's
as well?
almost 40, bro.
So when you talk about LeBron now, LeBron's in his 17th year, 2003 draft. He didn't go to college. This guy went 4 years college.
he was
There's extra
already like
4
he
years
was
on his
already
career.
like
Yeah.
23, bro, 22.
Imagine LeBron now 17th year, add 4 years.
And
It's
you-
just longevity of playing
And
basketball.
another thing that we're saying, if you have other plays, it's very easy to hide, bro. It's very easy.
That's what I
If
mean.
you have a good team, you can
Yeah.
hide around them. But in one-on-one sports, if you win, after a certain amount of time, you're going to be considered one of the greatest, bro.
How can 7'2" light post hide?
No,
You tell me.
What I'm
No,
saying
you can't.
in basketball, every team has like at least 3 7-footers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every team
Yeah,
has
it's like
7
an
footers.
But you know why?
And the thing is, right now the NBA is so
Different league,
good.
Different league.
No, what
different
I'm
league.
saying right now, the NBA is so good. There's every team has like 3 7-footers. They don't even play them
Yeah.
because height is not that much of an advantage when you reach like 6'9".
Now,
No, I'm saying from the 6'9" height onwards.
It used to be a
height,
centers league.
yeah,
though. That's-
height
it used to be
isn't
a
that
centers
much
league.
of an
You have to take
advantage,
that into
bro.
consideration.
Because they're
It used to
thinking,
be.
I'm telling
Now
you,
it's
bro,
a
I'm
because
saying
they
that,
don't
that's
move
a
as quick
disadvantage
or
for
not.
Kareem. That was
yeah.
dominant in the league.
When you're 6'9" is like that's why they say LeBron's the perfect height. When you're about like 6'10" and over, you can't move as well as everyone else.
That's
Like
why Kevin
naturally,
Durant's special.
your body literally
Yeah.
can't do what everyone else's body does.
but
So it's really a disadvantage
Did
when
you
you
guys rate his
reach.
handles? That's what I'm gonna
Nah,
ask.
but that
you.
was in the
See,
league.
the moving. See, his gameplay wasn't based off of movement. So
Yeah,
what
but
we're
his-
saying is,
His gameplay is based off a catcher. I'm not gonna, bro. I don't
He's playing
rate.
to his
I don't rate
strengths.
Harry Kane on how he dribbles the ball. You know what I mean? Everyone's got the things that
Yeah.
they
But,
do
hey,
he
best.
actually can dribble.
Hey,
He can, but I'm saying I'm not basing it off that, bro.
Also, you know,
Well-
with Kareem, he won MVP. I don't know if it's his first and last.
bro.
He won MVP at 23 years old,
Wait, keep
and
going.
then another one at 37.
Wait, not just that.
He's
Till
won the
this
most
day,
MVPs.
to this day, the most MVPs in
Yeah, 6.
NBA
But how do you
history is
win-
Kareem.
How do you, from a 15-year
Hey.
span, win an MVP at such a young age and then old?
I got this. Hey, you know
Near the end.
Kobe? Kobe played for 20 years, yeah? Guess how many MVPs he won?
One.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was dominant from the start. But I want to
Bro.
talk about Muhammad Ali.
Bro.
Muhammad Ali
Okay.
was... He was
excited, right?
above Khabib on everyone's besides Ali. Ali picked Khabib over Muhammad Ali.
But he was going based off record.
Yeah, I
So
would
it's a
base-
record-
because I don't know because I like your
He's not the
I like your argument
That's
about
what I'm
like
saying.
he
That's
didn't
why I don't like
have
the
that
number
many
too much.
fights and like there's not many what is it, title matches.
Yeah.
So I don't know too much about that.
'Cause
I just look purely on record.
That's what I looked at because Muhammad Ali nearly had like double as many fights as Khabib and 19 title fights.
Boxing MMA is
I
different.
don't
Boxing
know.
MMA is
But you have,
different.
to, you have to take, but you have to look at career.
19
How long was
title
Muhammad
fights.
How long?
Not 4, bro.
Because do you know what he spoke about with big fights? So regardless if you had 20 fights, how many? Bro, It's the fight of the century. That's what Muhammad Ali's known for.
Listen, but
But the amount of fights Muhammad Ali's had on the big stage, that's what we have to bring. That's why I'm saying.
And
he's
another
top
thing
of
that
Khabib,
we gotta point out as well before people get confused, we're not saying he's not good, bro.
Exactly.
We're not saying he's great.
No.
We're just saying this level, the list that we're doing, these people are literally ridiculous.
But also, he could be the GOAT of UFC. I'm not saying he's not.
And I still
But
think
I'm
the
just
GOAT of
saying-
USC might not be the GOAT of athletes. You know what I mean? They might
No,
not be.
I agree. 150% still a developing sport.
That's what I'm saying.
150%. Boxing's been.
It's like that
around
argument where they
longer
say
than UFC.
who's the GOAT of a sport and the GOAT of all sports. It's when you go into the different levels.
Different
For me,
level,
go of boxing would have been Mayweather. There's no question. But this is the thing,
This guy loves the O thing,
Nah,
No,
Mayweather,
not
Mayweather
the
is the GOAT.
thing.
Mayweather is the GOAT,
Mayweather's
100%.
untouchable.
Yeah.
He's actually untouchable in the fight.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true, bro.
There's no blueprint to how to beat
But
him.
he
at
played
all.
it
I
very
reckon I could
smart.
beat him
Yeah.
up
He
personally.
He played it
man.
very smart, which is
But
why
that's
I would
respect. You
kind
can't.
of.
Doesn't he have like a
You have
boring
to
style?
respect that.
Ali brought in every single opponent. He brought
But
in
it was different era though. That was
Listen.
when like management and how you plan the
Exactly,
fights
I know
and
that.
stuff.
I know that. 100%.
Yeah.
It's probably smarter, but that comes to the advancement
Yeah.
of the sport.
That's another thing about fight sports, bro. It's too much politics, bro. Basketball, if I play good this year, I don't care what manager I have. I have to verse LeBron James.
You're telling me that,
No,
but there's no.
No,
politics
do you
in
know what I
basketball.
mean?
No, there's
no,
no politics.
no,
There's
but
no
what?
po- Giannis the best player in the league.
All right, no. But check it out. I'm saying like Floyd, like in terms of like your team and like winning titles and whatnot.
Yeah.
Mayweather can see a really good fighter and be like, I don't want to verse him just yet. Give me
Yeah,
3
like
years.
Manny.
Like,
When
you know what I
have
mean?
He has
Manny.
the option.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
know
later
what I
on
mean?
his
But
career.
because
Basketball,
he's so
if
good,
I'm
he
really
gets the option.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's era.
Basketball, you can be incredible. You still have to verse the best player from the other side.
You can't hide.
You can't
Yeah.
hide, bro.
No, I
that
get
year,
it, I
you have
get
to
it.
you have to face him.
But say playoffs, yeah, because that's
Mhm.
when literally everything matters.
Yeah,
Say for example, we don't end up facing each other because your team ducked out early.
yeah.
Are
That,
you still argued as the best player?
no, but
The thing
that's
is-
no. But I'm saying that's not politics.
'Cause
That's
LeBron-
merit based, bro. That means your team
It-
wasn't good enough.
'Cause-
You didn't do good enough for your team to win.
But you know another thing
That's-
with
that's what I'm
Kareem.
So
saying.
you can put it on one guy.
No. Sometimes
You
you
played
can. bro.
basketball. If there's one weak
I'm
link,
saying
you know the whole team goes.
Certain players you can. If you see at certain level, if there's a player that averages like 30 points a game, and in that game he gets 20, you can blame him. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course.
If you lost by under 10, even if you lost by 20, maybe the 10 points that he got would have shifted the momentum.
Well,
You know what I
you,
mean?
hey, you spoke about
So-
Khabib and you said like the competition. He's not a big competition. When you talk about Kareem, if the Celtics ducked out in the late 80s or in the 80s when they were Showtime Lakers, they had Detroit Pistons.
And he's versing someone better than the Celtics that
Like-
were that year. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
Detroit Pistons. If someone ducked out, the competition in his era was amazing. So it's that kind of thing where it's like if you talk about now LeBron, someone ducked out in the East. It's like he's versing Miami Heat. Do you get it? Like it's not a big competition. But Kareem had these guys, the greatest team, Lakers, or like
Wasn't-
Lakers, the Showtime Lakers versus Celtics, 4 Hall of Famers.
They had the
Detroit
best-
Pistons, bad boy Pistons.
front
It
court
was
in
big
history.
ass teams.
Right now,
Never-
in terms of stats, he's got the most, what do you call
Points
it? The
scored.
most MVPs in history, the most points scored.
Yeah.
He's got 6 NBA championships. That's what everyone talks about MJ. He's got 6 as well, bro.
Yeah.
But,
No-
but
no
MJ
one
6
even-
and 0. You
No,
have to
but
remember that.
I'm saying no one even thinks about that. He's won 6
MJ's
as well.
more
yeah?
like iconic and all.
What do you call it? Block shots. He's got, I think, 3rd most block shots in NBA history.
Yeah, he does.
Even
He's-
playoff records. His playoff records
He's
is
on
top.
every stat. He's-
rebounds
Yeah,
third.
he's like top
That's
3
what
in
they say.
every stat.
They say if you want to look on a stat list, you always say Kareem.
But this is the
But
thing.
But it's
yeah?
21 years. You have to remember that.
Do people
But no,
emulate?
what I'm saying is it's genius. It's greatness, bro. He realized that he had a limitation, which was athleticism. He's like, oh, I'm getting older. My body can't move like this.
Yeah.
I need to figure out a way to still be productive. You know what I mean?
100%.
I got
See, a lot of some of these fighters, sorry, but like
okay,
Khabib, for example, we haven't seen that adversity.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali, we saw when he started getting
Yeah.
slow, he started like developing, they say, the rope-a-dope where he'll let them punch themselves out, you know what I mean? He developed techniques that he would get around,
He
not
adapted.
being
He
as
was always
quick as
known
he
for
used
his
to be.
footwork. He was
No, but
always
even
known
watch
for his
the old
footwork.
fights, they say
100%
his old
he
fights,
slows down.
they realize he slowed down, so he figured out a way to still
He
win.
changed his game.
He changed his game.
Yeah.
Khabib hasn't needed to because we've just seen him in his prime. That's it.
What was
And
he
he
what was he
stops.
saying?
Go
I'll
on.
make it easy for you.
He's
A
got
lot of
he's got a
people
crazy
say the
point,
same thing about Khabib, yeah?
Mhm.
Khabib, as soon as you walk in, you have a tactic. When he gets a hold of you,
It changes.
disappears.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
How many guys do you know go into a game thinking, you know what, I just have to do this, and this,
Kareem.
and then I can stop them? Yeah?
What do you mean you can stop who from
No.
that?
that's
But
the- that's
like
heaviest
they
Kareem.
have an opponent comes in and goes, I just need to do these certain things, and then I can nullify
Kareem.
him.
That's literally
But
Kareem.
Look,
He's got an unstoppable shot. So before the game,
No,
these
I
are
get it.
highly
I
competitive
get
people,
it.
bro.
100%
Before
get
the
it.
game, they're thinking, I've got him locked down. Like, I'm better than
Yeah.
the guy he faced yesterday. You know what I mean? Then they play him, and they're like, okay, on the sky hook, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wrap my arm in this position because they're allowed to do hand checking and whatnot. They would have tried it and realized after like the first 5 minutes it's not working, and they have to just throw it away and just hope that he misses.
Say they let.
So it's more or less the
Say
same,
they
really.
switched focus from Kareem to all the other players on the team. They just let Kareem run a mark, score his 50, 60, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm being honest. And
Kareem's
they
team would
nullify the supporting cast. Is it possible that he would have lost?
It's possible, but I reckon Kareem still would have won.
Okay.
Probably
No,
not.
if the
Probably
shot,
not,
if the
'cause his
shot,
efficiency was just so good.
it's the thing
Yeah.
is, it
not
wasn't
Steph
it wasn't a
shooting
Steph
threes.
Curry 3-point shot. He's standing right next to the ring, bro.
Within 10 feet.
If he takes 30 shots, he'll probably make 27. So what, you're gonna risk that?
No. But for
That's
me,
ridiculous.
this is what
bro.
I'm saying. He's got a tactic, obviously, and Khabib has a tactic.
Yeah.
Khabib's wrestling. No one's on his level.
Yeah.
No one's on his.
Yeah.
No one's on his
But
level.
what I'm saying is, he
Khabib's
hasn't had
skyhook.
personal competition,
Khabib's
personal
skyhook.
Nah,
adversity.
but that's why Khabib.
Sorry,
that-
Kareem's skyhook.
That's why we
You get
put
what I mean?
Khabib third though.
That's what
'Cause
I'm,
there's like
I'm
level.
arguing against him. Like right now, we've seen his greatness against everyone else, but we haven't seen his greatness when he's had to face adversity like within himself. Like he
But
realized,
he's that
no,
good.
look,
There's no adversity,
no.
bro.
There's going to
The
be.
same
he's-
as Kareem.
Look, hey, when Khabib's 60, he's not going to be as good as he is now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, that's what I was saying.
Fight when you're
Kareem,
60.
Kareem, when he almost reached 40, he was like, I can't move fast. I can't do it. But how can I be better than him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he figured out a way, and he did it, and he won MVP still.
Which is
You know
what
what I
Ali
mean?
did too.
Yeah,
But
that's
that's why
why I'm
they're
saying.
above Khabib.
That's why
And
Ali.
that's why
No,
Kareem's
that's why I'm
above-
trying to bring it back to
Yeah.
Ali and what do you
I'm-
call it, Kareem. That's why they 1 and 2.
I'm retracting my Khabib second.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
say Khabib's a third, and I'll say Kareem's a second.
How about Ali as
I think
Khabib
we got
first?
it, bro.
Are we retracting anything there?
I have to, honestly. Hey, it's because I like the point where you guys said like it's a new sport. Like he didn't do many title fights and that as well.
100%.
So
Small
I
sample
think about
size.
Kareem. Yeah, Kareem has to be
Look,
number
look,
one for
look.
me.
All of these guys are
No.
ridiculous.
I
to me.
It's
think-
only because losses. Muhammad
And
Ali,
just
I love
longevity,
Muhammad Ali
bro.
more than Kareem.
Longevity, just dominance.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna let them just people shoot.
Hey,
Kareem
did
was
you say
always my second
Kareem?
option.
Oh,
Get out of here, man.
And
You guys are
Muhammad
the
Ali's
lowest,
up there just only because of the loss.
Listen.
And I don't want him to. I don't want to say he's lost. 'Cause to me, like one of the greatest boxers.
All right,
I like
say
him
the
over-
record, bro.
The
Say the
greatest
record.
heavyweight ever,
Yeah,
bro.
100%.
Probably even arguably the
But it's
greatest
that
ever.
kind of thing. But we'll go to honourable mentions because there's a lot to name. Like even Mo Farah we spoke about. You put Mike Tyson fifth.
Yeah.
You know.
I had to, bro, because of the dominance, bro.
Bro,
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, have you seen him speak about Muhammad Ali?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every interview he starts crying, bro.
Watch the
Yeah.
feet, champ.
No way.
Watch the
He,
feet.
no, he literally starts crying when he's talking about Muhammad Ali,
Yeah.
bro. It's mental.
puts-
He's talking about like
it's
how
higher
good he
than
is.
a pedestal.
He's like,
Yeah.
I'm good, I'm great, but this is like
Which,
something
which,
else.
which
I
is
can't
another
compare.
point I wanted to make about Ali, bro. You know how the way they say there's certain people that make other people. Jordan made Kobe and
100%.
LeBron.
He made much more than just.
Ali made Tyson and probably like all the other
Probably
heavyweight
all the-
division. He changed the
Probably
division.
all the African Americans we started
Yeah.
seeing, maybe even Mayweather. Like he
changed
would have
the
had a hand
division.
in
Yeah,
that.
honestly, if,
Defense
Yeah.
is the most important.
if we were to
thing.
do a top 5 like most iconic Muslim athletes, it's clearly Muhammad Ali.
It's
Yeah.
not even close.
It's not
But
even
you know,
close.
Muhammad
all
Ali, he transcends the sport.
But you
It's
know,
more than
all
just,
these guys actually changed their sport.
100%.
And that's what they
Yeah,
talk about when you
that's
get reached
surreal.
this level. There's like Shaq changed it, Kareem changed, Muhammad Ali, Khabib. They're at that level.
That's
And
what we're saying, bro.
It's not about
Kareem, they had to change a rule
But what
because
I'm
of
saying
but
is-
all these guys,
a
they're
rule.
the top
Actually,
of their
this might
sport.
go against me.
Imagine, bro. Wait.
Wait,
Stop,
stop.
stop.
I have to make
go,
this statement.
go,
This
go.
actually might go against me. I'm
Please
saying
bury
that
yourself, bro.
people emulated his game. Jesus, what was that? But
Air raids, bro.
people emulated. You're already on it first day and you're already going out. Bro, people emulated Muhammad Ali because of how great he was, yeah? No Muhammad Ali, there's no Tyson.
That's true.
But can you say the same for Kareem? Did Shaq emulate Kareem?
That's the that's an okay.
But-
I've
that's a
got a
Which is
rebuttal.
why I
I've-
said double-edged sword.
Yeah, I've got a rebuttal.
Yeah.
Is what Kareem did. People definitely would have tried to, and probably soon after they realized they couldn't do it. It was literally unattainable.
There's two reasons. Because of Kareem's dominance and like Bill Russell and stuff, it was the centers league for 25 years until Michael Jordan came. That's why Michael Jordan got
Yeah.
picked. They're like, why are you picking him?
And
But
that's why
because-
Hakeem Olajuwon
Olajuwon
got picked. Well,
Yeah,
hey, don't do
before.
that, bro. Don't do that.
This is
to
your
me.
boy. You saying that?
Yeah.
Hakeem Abdul-Jabbar?
Hey, bro, please. Hey,
But
it's the nerves.
But
bro.
do you know? Hey, do you know what it was? The 3-point line got introduced.
He looked at the light. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, the 3-point line got introduced,
Yeah.
and threes are better than twos.
Yeah.
So when Reggie Miller and all these guys in the 90s started hitting threes, they're like, okay, it's more efficient. It's better to score three
It
than a
makes
two.
sense.
So that's how the league transitioned, and that's why like there's people that change the games, and
Yeah, like
it moved
Steph
from a
Curry and
centers
whatnot,
league
yeah.
to a guard league, and then
Yeah,
you know, like,
that's
over
what I'm
that
saying.
decade.
Like,
That's why Kobe
yeah.
ran him up.
post Shaq,
Allen Iverson.
Done.
It's
No, but what I'm saying is still is Kareem had like his style of play, I think maybe it couldn't be copied, bro.
No.
People would have tried, bro. You're telling me people at 7
That's-
feet tall and they wouldn't attempt it?
That's what I mean
Yeah.
by it's a double-edged sword for
Yeah,
my
I think it was just so good
Bro,
that they
guarantee-
literally. I think people looked at Michael Jordan and they're like, I've got all these attributes. 6'6" is not huge, bro. I know I played basketball. A lot of people that are 6'6". You know what I mean? It's 3 inches taller than me. It's not that big, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So like
6'6"
6'6" isn't huge. Athleticism, you're like, okay, he's got a what is it, like 46-inch vertical or something like that. There's people with 44 that's close enough. You can copy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, get you,
So
I get
people
you.
just copy his game and then they realize it worked and just go from there. But Kareem, the attributes that he has and the skill set, I think a lot of people just don't have
We
it.
got a fair bit of honourable mentions. What other ones do you have on the list?
So Mike Tyson, Hakeem, Mo Farah didn't make it.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm fuming, bro.
Why?
It threw me under the bus, bro. Yeah, I'm sweating, bro.
The Ozil was there.
Being-
You got Basha, you got Ribery, Mohamed Salah, Imran Khan, and then Moan Ali.
Oh, and Ali.
Can't
Who
lie,
put
that-
that down?
that-
I want to
you put
call
that
them
Nah,
out.
just honourable mentions.
Did
Just
you
the
put
list.
Imran Khan as well?
Uh,
He's the guy who won the only Pakistan World Cup ever. Like, he's the only guy to ever lead Pakistan to a World Cup.
Should put Evan
in
Khabib
cricket.
then. I didn't know that.
Cool.
No, that's
And,
actually
and
Where-
he captained the team, and he actually handpicked the whole team
Handpicked.
himself.
That's
Well,
actually
that's
that's
power.
better than LeBron. That's
I'm not
power.
gonna lie, I have no clue who he is, bro.
I don't either, but he's apparently the Pakistani prime minister now.
Yeah, how sick is that?
No.
President.
Where? But what is he?
Man's got
What is he?
power.
What sport?
Cricket. Fast.
Yeah,
He's
bro,
an
we're talking about
all-rounder.
cricket, hey.
But when you
We're
talk
talking about
about
cricket, bro.
Bro, you're gonna get abused.
We're gonna start
by-
talking about lawn balls, yeah?
Nah.
What kind of
Cricket's
nonsense is
different. There's levels to cricket, but
Alright,
there's
who's the best table tennis
at
player
this.
in the world?
Look at this.
This is nonsense, bro.
Hey, look, punting.
Alhamdulillah, I didn't say it.
There's a reason why we know Shane Warne, Ricky Ponting, because they're just Tiger Woods. What about golf? But you know how good Tiger Woods is, yeah?
To be honest, I don't, bro. I know what the media's told me, bro. They told me
Yeah.
it's very good,
Same
so I
here.
say it's very good.
How about Rory McIlroy?
That's the one they used to swear, yeah?
Nah, well, that was actually.
I used to see the
mad.
commercials, bro.
Yeah.
But too easy, bro. Wrap this up before
Yeah, well,
I
that was
start
sick.
arguing for 2
Yeah.
hours.
We're gonna
I'm
do
so
some
upset, bro.
more top fives coming soon. You guys comment down below if you got any ideas. If you guys got some good ones, obviously we'll do it.
And
You know?
comment down that I was right about Hakeem.
Yeah, thanks Najeem for coming on. Featuring a special guest.
I'm burning, bro.
Why? Nah, well, I was very.
But man should have been second, bro. I'm telling you.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Thanks
to
everyone
be
for
finished
listening.
on
Remember to like, comment, subscribe, send it around, and enjoy. Peace.